Stop. Before you scroll past this, I need you to understand something. Everything you are about to see is real. No CGI, no editing tricks, no green screen. These are real places on the real Earth that you can find on a real map. And every single one of them breaks the rules of what should be possible. Scientists have studied them, governments have tried to explain them, and in some cases, the world's brightest minds have simply said, "We don't know." There are 7 places in this video, and I promise you, by the time we reach number 1, you will never look at this planet the same way again. But first, a warning. Some of these places have claimed lives. Some of them are completely forbidden to visit, and one of them has been kept off official maps entirely. My name is Unseen Species, and this is what the world forgot to tell you. Stay until the end, because number 1 is the one place on Earth that scientists call impossible. Let's begin. Number 7. The ocean is doing something that should be impossible, and millions of people have flown directly over it without ever knowing it was there. Off the coast of Mauritius Island in the Indian Ocean, there is a waterfall. But not above the surface, not even at the surface. This waterfall exists beneath the ocean. From above, it looks exactly like the ocean floor is being swallowed whole, like someone pulled the drain plug and the sea itself is disappearing. Here is what is actually happening. Sand and silt deposits on the ocean shelf are being continuously swept off the edge of a massive underwater cliff by powerful and relentless ocean currents. From an aerial view, it creates a perfect illusion of a waterfall flowing downward into darkness. And that drop? It plunges thousands of meters straight down into an abyss so deep, so completely dark, that scientists have never fully mapped what lives down there. Think about that. In 2024, we have satellites that can read a number plate from space. We have telescopes that can see galaxies 13 billion light years away. And yet, the bottom of this drop remains largely unknown. Pilots flying over this region have reported doing double takes. Experienced divers who have seen it from below describe it as one of the most terrifying and beautiful things they have ever witnessed. The waterfall that hides beneath the sea. Right there, hiding in plain sight for millions of years. Stay with me, because what's coming next has been bleeding for over a century, and nobody could explain why. Number 6. In 1911, a geologist named Thomas Griffith Taylor was exploring Antarctica when he saw something that stopped him completely. A glacier was bleeding. Bright red liquid slowly pouring out of a crack in the ice, staining the white snow below like an open wound. He assumed it was red algae. He was wrong. For decades, scientists tried to explain what they were seeing, and for decades, they failed. It wasn't until 2017, over 100 years after its discovery, that researchers finally uncovered the truth. Beneath Taylor Glacier, sealed under the ice, completely cut off from sunlight, completely cut off from oxygen, completely cut off from the outside world, is an ancient lake. And this lake has been sealed for over 1.5 million years. 1.5 million years. To put that into perspective, modern humans have only existed for about 300,000 years. This water was trapped before our species even existed. And inside this ancient water lives a community of microorganisms that have survived in complete isolation in freezing temperatures with zero oxygen for longer than the human mind can truly comprehend. When this ancient water finally escapes, rising up through cracks in the glacier and hitting the air for the first time in 1.5 million years, the iron inside it oxidizes instantly, turning the water blood red. Scientists now believe this discovery could change everything we understand about life on other planets. If microorganisms can survive for 1.5 million years in frozen darkness with no oxygen, what might be alive right now beneath the ice of Europa or Mars? Taylor Glacier isn't just a strange place on Earth. It might be our greatest clue about life beyond it. Keep watching, because the next place has been on fire since before your parents were born, and nobody can turn it off. Number 5. Somewhere in the middle of the Karakum Desert, in a country most people couldn't point to on a map, the ground is on fire. It has been on fire every single day, every single night for over 50 years. They call it the door to hell, and once you see it, you will understand why. Here is what happened. In 1971, Soviet geologists were drilling for natural gas in the Turkmenistan desert. During drilling, the ground beneath their equipment collapsed, the entire drilling rig swallowed by the earth. Fortunately, no lives were lost, but the collapsed crater began releasing massive amounts of methane gas, dangerous, toxic, spreading across the desert. The Soviet engineers made a decision. They would set the crater on fire, burn off the methane, and the flame would extinguish itself within a few weeks. That was 1971. The crater is still burning today. 69 meters wide, 30 meters deep. The temperature at its center reaches 400 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt aluminum, hot enough to incinerate anything that gets too close. In 2010, Turkmenistan's president ordered the crater to be extinguished. It didn't work. In 2022, he ordered it again. It is still burning. Geologists now believe the gas reserve beneath this crater may be so vast, so deep, so enormous that the fire could continue burning for hundreds of years, maybe longer. The door to hell was created by an accident, but it has taken on a life of its own, and it refuses to die. Are you still with me? Good, because the next one has a flame that scientists cannot explain at all, not even a little. Number 4. Most people who visit Chestnut Ridge Park in New York come for the hiking trail. They walk through the forest, follow the path to a small waterfall, and behind the waterfall, they find a flame, a real flame burning inside the rock. The eternal flame falls. A natural gas seep beneath the rock face feeds this flame continuously. If it goes out from rain or wind, visitors can simply relight it with a match, and it burns again. Now, here is where this place stops making sense. For a natural flame like this to exist, the surrounding rock needs to be extremely hot, at least 100 to 200 degrees Celsius underground, to produce the gas that feeds the fire. In 2013, a team of scientists published a study in the journal Earth and Planetary Science Letters. Their conclusion was extraordinary. The shale rock surrounding the eternal flame is far too young, far too cold. It is nowhere near the temperature required to produce this gas naturally. And yet, the gas flows and the flame burns. Their official conclusion? This flame should not exist. The geological conditions are wrong. The rock temperature is wrong. The chemistry is wrong. Everything about it is wrong. And yet, you can drive to this park today, walk to this waterfall, and hold your hand near a flame that has no right to be there. Stay with me, because the next place will make you question whether gravity works the same way everywhere on Earth. Number 3. On a stretch of highway near Leh, in the mountains of northern India, there is a road. And on this road, cars roll uphill by themselves. No engine running, no one pushing, no tricks. Place your car in neutral, release the brake, and your vehicle will slowly, steadily begin rolling uphill against gravity. Thousands of tourists have tested this. Hundreds of videos exist online. The Indian government has placed a sign on this road, officially acknowledging the phenomenon. The scientific explanation is that it is an optical illusion. The landscape surrounding the road tricks your brain into believing the road goes downhill when it actually slopes slightly upward. Your car isn't defying gravity. Your brain is simply misreading the slope. That is the official explanation. Here is what the official explanation doesn't cover. Compasses behave erratically in this area. Pilots flying commercial routes over this region have reported that their instruments show unusual magnetic interference. The Indian Air Force is officially aware of this interference, and civilian aircraft flying over the magnetic hill area reportedly increase altitude automatically to avoid it affecting their navigation systems. An optical illusion doesn't affect compasses. An optical illusion doesn't interfere with aircraft navigation systems. Something is happening here, and the full truth has never been publicly confirmed. Keep watching, because number 2 is one of the most terrifying places in the world. A place so dangerous that simply falling in means you will not survive.
Number 2. Deep inside the Amazon rainforest, in a region so remote that most maps don't show it, there is a river. And this river will kill you. Not from predators, not from disease, not from drowning. The river itself will kill you because it boils. The boiling river, known to the indigenous people as Shanai Timpishka, which translates to a phrase that should send a chill down your spine, boiled with the heat of the sun. This river stretches for nearly 6 kilometers through the heart of the Amazon jungle, and along most of its length, the water temperature reaches between 45 and 100 degrees Celsius. At its hottest points, the water boils visibly. Steam rises from the surface. The air above it shimmers with heat. Anything that falls in does not come out alive. Local communities living near the river have described finding animals, snakes, frogs, small mammals that stumbled into the water by accident, still alive when found, but with eyes turned completely white, boiled inside their skulls. For centuries, outsiders dismissed stories of this river as jungle mythology. No scientist took it seriously until 2011. A young Peruvian geoscientist named Andres Russo had heard stories of the boiling river from his aunt since childhood. His colleagues laughed at him when he mentioned it. His professors told him it wasn't real. He went anyway. Following directions from his aunt deep into the Amazon, he found it. And when he tested the water temperature, he couldn't believe what his thermometer was telling him. Here is the part that makes this place truly impossible.
For a river to reach boiling temperatures, it typically needs to be located near volcanic activity. The nearest active volcano to the boiling river is over 700 kilometers away. No fault lines run beneath it. No volcanic vents have been found nearby. There is no conventional geological explanation for why this river boils. Andrés Russo has dedicated his career to studying it. He has written a book about it. He has given a TED Talk about it. And his conclusion after years of study? We still don't fully understand why this river exists. It shouldn't, but it does. Are you ready for number 1? Because everything we have covered so far, every impossible place, every unexplained phenomenon, every location that defies science, was building to this. Number 1 is the place that scientists have called the closest thing on Earth to another planet. Number 1. There is an island, and this island does not look like it belongs to our world. The trees grow sideways instead of upward. The landscape looks like it was painted by someone who had never seen Earth, and 37% of the species living there exist nowhere else on the planet. Nowhere. Not in any jungle, not in any ocean, not in any laboratory. Nowhere on Earth except here. This is Socotra Island. Located in the Arabian Sea off the coast of Yemen, Socotra has been so completely isolated from the rest of the world for so many millions of years that evolution here took an entirely different path. The most iconic species on the island is the dragon blood tree. Its branches spread perfectly flat like an umbrella turned upside down, forming a dense canopy that catches every drop of moisture from the air. When you cut the bark, dark red liquid seeps out. Dragon's blood. The indigenous people of Socotra have used this liquid for centuries as medicine, as dye, as a substance they believe holds supernatural power. The island was so isolated for so long that the people who lived there developed their own language. A language so ancient, so completely separate from every other language on Earth that it has never, in thousands of years of human history, been written down. Not once. There is no written form, no alphabet, no script, just spoken words passed from parent to child for thousands of generations in a place that looks like it was designed by a different universe. NASA scientists have visited Socotra. Biologists have described it as a living laboratory for alien life. If we ever needed to understand how life might evolve on another planet, scientists say Socotra is the closest example we have. 37% of plants found nowhere else on Earth. 90% of its reptile species found nowhere else. A landscape that has no parallel anywhere on the planet, and it is sitting right here in our ocean, on our Earth, hidden in plain sight. Just like everything on this channel, the world is stranger than they told you, and there is so much more to uncover.
7 places, all of them real, all of them existing right now, all of them waiting to be visited, studied, or in some cases, feared. A glacier that bleeds with water 1.5 million years old. A crater that has burned for over 50 years and refuses to be extinguished. A river deep in the Amazon that boils everything alive. A road where cars roll uphill and compasses refuse to work. A flame that burns in conditions where science says it cannot. An underwater waterfall hiding in plain sight beneath a peaceful ocean. And an island so completely unlike anywhere else on Earth that scientists use it to model what life on other planets might look like. These are not legends. These are not myths. These are places you can find on a map today. And here is the truth that keeps me coming back to this work. If 7 places this extraordinary, this impossible, this completely real can exist on a planet we think we know, how many more are out there? How many places are hidden in jungles we haven't fully explored, beneath oceans we haven't fully mapped, in deserts and mountains and depths that human eyes have never seen? The answer is more than you think, and we are going to find them, every single one. If you want to be there when we do, subscribe to Unseen Species. Hit the bell, because the next video goes somewhere even darker, even stranger, even more impossible. The world is stranger than they told you, and we are just getting started.